Flood displaces over 50,000 across 17 local governments in Jigawa State. And Lagos State on high alert, set to open emergency centers amid global mpox outbreak. Police foil terrorist plot, uncover cache of IEDs in multiple locations in Niger State. On the international scene, army strike kills 7 rebels in northern Mali. A very good evening and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Now to the news in detail. Over 50,000 people have taken refuge in public schools and government buildings across Jigawa State following a devastating flood that affected 17 local government areas. The displaced are struggling with a severe shortage of basic necessities, with many women and children falling ill. Trust TV's Northwest correspondent Idris Jibrin visited Buji local government, one of the hardest hit areas, and now reports.
This is Gansa in Buji local government area of Jigawa State, where flood waters have submerged more than half of the town. Court sessions have been suspended and the hospitals and markets are closed, leaving the community at a standstill. You can see that everything has stopped in this community. Behind me is the court, the hospital, and then the district head house. They are all covered in water. There is no way you can go in or come out of the water because everywhere is blocked. Residents report that thousands of homes have been destroyed, leaving the town completely cut off from surrounding areas. With over 5,000 houses lost, access routes are now non-existent. We have lost so many houses around this community. Over 5,000 houses were collapsed and so many people were injured here. And we don't have access roads to the rest of the town from this particular place where I'm standing. Farmers in Buji local government report that their entire farmlands have been wiped out by the floods. Tragically, 3 people have died and several others have been injured as buildings collapsed around them. As you can see, we have lost virtually everything we planted this year. Our farmlands have been washed away. Our farm produce is gone. In fact, at the moment, we don't have food to eat because I have lost everything from this flood. The Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency warns that the number of the affected individuals is likely to increase as the rain continues across the state.
Even the IDPs keep on increasing because of the continued rain. Before, we assumed that it is only the dam that will give us this havoc. But unfortunately, it's not the dam now. It's just the heavy downfall that is affecting that is causing the flood.
Behind me is the local government secretariat of Buji in Jigawa State and the divisional police headquarters. Now, the access road has been blocked and residents are saying that an estimated 5,000 houses have been destroyed by the flood and about 3,000 farmers have lost their entire harvest this year to flood. Now, residents are calling on both the state and federal government to come to their aid as they face imminent food shortage this year. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
And Tanyina town is reeling from severe flooding after the recent opening of dams in Funtua, Turata and Shagari. The Cube Culvert, a critical road link connecting Sokoto to Birnin Kebbi and Niger Republic, has been underwater for days, disrupting transportation and daily life. The flooding has also desecrated a nearby cemetery, leaving the final resting place of loved ones submerged. Here's the report.
Additionally, a fish farm that relied on the culvert's water source has suffered a devastating loss, with all its fish swept away by the flood waters. Residents report widespread destruction, with multiple homes and properties affected, leaving the community in a state of crisis, particularly in the case of the company residents, a village few kilometers from Saniya town. Even after a few days, their houses are still submerged in water, forcing them to seek shelter at a nearby IDP camp. Motorists are also feeling the impact, with the road closure causing significant delays and disruptions to business and travel. As the Sanenya community struggles to come to terms with devastating floodwaters, residents are appealing to the government and public-spirited individuals to come to their aid. They also are urging the government to take proactive measures to prevent such disasters in the future by converting the culvert into a bridge, as these would not only ensure safer passage but also safeguard the community's livelihoods and well-being.
And also, the impact of high flooding has destroyed crops in the Argungu local government area and other regions in Kebbi and Niger states. The head of press and public affairs at the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission and Hyperdeck, Nura Wakili, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday while sympathizing with farmers who were affected by the environmental disaster. The commission said it viewed the unfortunate event as a significant setback to the nation's efforts in promoting sustainability and ensuring food security. The statement said the commission's managing director, Abubakar Yalwa, expressed deep concern over the impact of the floods on the livelihoods of the affected communities. He also commended the federal government for its swift action in allocating 3 billion naira to support the victims of the disaster. NISA warned of additional flooding due to upstream activities in Niger and Mali. Meanwhile, at least 49 people have been killed and thousands displaced in Nigeria after heavy rains caused flooding in the north of the country, according to the spokesperson of NEMA, Manzo Ezekiel. 3 states in the north, namely Jigawa, Adamawa and Taraba, have been hardest hit by the floods, with 41,344 people displaced. In 2022, Nigeria experienced its worst flood in more than a decade, which killed more than 600 people, displaced around 1.4 million, and destroyed 440,000 hectares of farmland. The floods have also destroyed farmlands, affecting around 693 hectares of agricultural land. Nigeria is battling double-digit inflation, which has been stoked by high food prices. Heavy rains have added to problems in the farming sector, where farmers are deserting their farms in the northeast due to repeated attacks by militants. The government in this year's flood outlook said 31 out of the country's 36 states were at risk of experiencing high flood. And elsewhere, the Lagos state government has raised alarms over the possibility of the new Mpox variant, Clade 1, entering Nigeria. During a media briefing on Tuesday, the State Commissioner of Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, expressed concern about the virus spreading from the Democratic Republic of Congo to other African nations, including Cameroon, Rwanda and Burundi. With Lagos being a major hub for international travel and trade, the state is at heightened risk of the virus being imported. Professor Abayomi emphasized that the World Health Organization has declared the outbreak of this new variant in the Democratic Republic of Congo as a public health emergency of international concern. He pointed out the potential threat posed by the virus's spread through multiple airline and shipping routes, which could bring contaminated passengers, goods or persons into Lagos.
The second thing we're doing today is to initiate the Emergency Operations Center that will be focused specifically on the issue of the Mpox outbreak on the continent. And the third thing is the activation of a statewide public health awareness campaign to educate the public on Mpox, the risk of Mpox to our residents, and how to take proactive measures to curtail being exposed to Mpox should the situation arise. I want to be clear that we have 2 major varieties of Mpox. We have the Mpox that is indigenous to West Africa, and we have sporadic cases of Mpox from time to time occurring in Lagos. For example, this year we have had 1 confirmed case of Mpox out of about 53 suspected cases. We were only able to confirm 1, and that was in the month of May. As we stand now, we do not have any active cases of Mpox in Lagos.
And the Niger State Police Command says it has uncovered a large cache of explosive devices, including bombs and improvised explosive devices buried in multiple locations across the state. Although an investigation is going on to unravel the sources of the explosive devices, they are suspected to have been concealed by terrorists and bandits who have been wreaking havoc in several local governments in the state. Some of the local governments where the devices were uncovered include Galadima Kogo in Shiroro local government areas, Mutun Air in Munya local government, and Beganu area in Mina. The command spokesman Wasiu Abiodun, who released a statement on the development on Tuesday, said the findings were the handiwork of counter-insurgency operations conducted from 2021 to 2023 and collaborative efforts involving the police and other security agencies in the state. Abiodun revealed that the explosives were neutralized on August 22, 2024 at a site located behind Zuma Rock in Suleja under the supervision of SP Mohammed Mamoun, the officer in charge of the explosive ordnance disposal, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear unit of the command. And gunmen have killed one man identified as Garba Yakubu and abducted two others in the Gadabuke community of Toto local government area of Nasarawa state. The police public relations officer Rahman Nansel, who confirmed the incident, said the gunmen invaded Yakubu's residence on Monday and in the process killed him and abducted two others. He noted that upon receiving a distress call about the incident, a police team moved to the scene where the corpse of the victim was recovered and later released to the family based on a request for burial according to Islamic rites. On the abduction of the two persons, he said the police commissioner had reinforced the Toto police division and launched a search and rescue operation. Meanwhile, troops of the Forward Operations Base in Potiskum, Yobe State have arrested a suspect for smuggling farm machinery and input out of the state. Disclosing this in a statement on Tuesday, the Special Advisor on Security Matters to the Yobe State Governor, Dahiru Abdul Salam, said the items were concealed in a blue-colored 18-seater bus with registration number KTY 449YG along Potiskum Gombe Road in the state. He said the suspect, who hails from Jigawa State, does not have any allocation letter for the items. On interrogation, the suspect revealed that he bought the items from one Alhaji Babaji in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, at the cost of 50,000 naira each. Abdul Salam said the suspect could not provide any proof to show that he was a beneficiary of the Yobe State Agricultural Empowerment Program, where the items are supposedly from. He stated that the suspect and the items had been handed over to the Yobe State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for further action. Now, the police in Jigawa State have arrested a tea vendor, Abdurrashid Ya'u, for beating a 20-year-old Hassan Garba to death. The tragic incident occurred in Sararai village in Jigawar Tada town in Duse local government council. According to reports, the altercation stemmed from allegations of theft, with Ya'u accusing Garba of stealing bread, milk, noodles, and petrol. Upon receiving the report, a police patrol team promptly responded to the scene, arrested the suspect, and rushed the victim to Rashid Shekoni Teaching Hospital, where he was confirmed dead. This is contained in a statement signed and made available to newsmen in Dutse on Tuesday by the command's public relations officer, DSP Lawan Shisu Adam. Adam said during questioning at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Dutse, Yahoo admitted to the crime, stating that Garba's repeated thefts had infuriated him, adding that he had previously informed his parents, but no action was taken. He said neighbors reported hearing Garba's cries for help but were unable to intervene until police officers arrived. And elsewhere, residents of Ogun State are expressing frustration over the ongoing fuel crisis lamenting the surge in the price of a litre that has hit 950 to 1,000 naira per litre. Trust TV's Ajibade Awofeso, who monitored the situation, tells us more in this report.
Long queues have resurfaced at filling stations, particularly those selling at relatively low prices. Motorists at the NNPC mega filling station in Okemoson, Abeokuta, who shared their concern with Trust TV, lamented that the situation is unbearable, adding that with a life already difficult for the ordinary Nigerians, the fuel price increment and artificial scarcity are making it worse.
Actually, we are facing a lot as a transporters for now. So the situation is so worse. For instance, it's only NNPC that is selling the control price. The other stations, they are selling 900, 920, 950, which is not done. We are passing through a lot and the situation is so worse. But they don't do our rights. We are dying every day. Crisis. Free 7,600. This is not right. This is a we have tired of this government. Very bad situation.
Residents are urging the federal and state government to find a lasting solution to the crisis, warning that inaction could lead to Nigerians taking matters into their own hands.
To say the real facts, tell the government, they should do something concerning what is happening now. We are tired of this.
Thank you.
Buying for a costly price, 1,000 naira. Oh God. We are imploring our government, we are imploring them to please to take everything so easy for us, just because it's so hard. So hard.
While Nigerians await the promised economic reforms under the Bola Tinubu-led administration, many states are struggling with the harsh realities of the reforms, and Ogun State is not an exception. From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News.
Well, there you have it. Also, the leadership of the Labour Party has moved against Abia Governor Alex Otti and others, calling for the convening of the party's National Executive Committee meeting to set up a caretaker committee. Recall that Governor Otti had recently met with the national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, where he tendered his intent to convene a NEC meeting on Saturday, August 31st. The governor argued that the tenure of the party's current leadership had expired long ago. But the National Working Committee, NWC, of the party, in a meeting convened by Abure on Tuesday, countered the move, stating that there is no vacuum in the leadership of the party. The party, while insisting there is no leadership crisis, announced the establishment of a disciplinary committee to be charged by Kehinde Edun, its national legal advisor.
11. Apart from the fact that the Federal High Court in Abuja has already validated the National Convention held in March, there are other persons who have equally challenged the convention of the party, and these cases are as follows. The lists are here and you can see them. It is therefore trite in our laws that once cases are pending in courts, parties are to maintain status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest. In this case, INEC is expected to maintain the status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest of the party. INEC is expected not to descend into the arena of conflict, but to continue with its neutrality and work cordially with the recognized leadership of the party until the courts state otherwise.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Nigerian professionals in search of international job opportunities take up foreign languages to boost their capacity. This and much more stories after the break. Join us again. Thanks for staying with the news hour on Trust Television. Here's a recap of our top stories again. Flood displaces over 50,000 across 17 local governments in Jigawa State. And Lagos State on high alert, set to open emergency centers amid global mpox outbreaks. Moving on to other stories now, President Bola Tinubu is to visit China in early September in a strategic move to strengthen bilateral relations between the two nations while pursuing key economic opportunities. A special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, who revealed this to newsmen of the State House Abuja on Tuesday, revealed that the president would visit major Chinese companies in a bid to accelerate the completion of the Ibadan to Abuja segment of the Lagos to Kano Rail project. He added that Tinubu would also meet with CEOs of 10 top Chinese corporations, which manage over $3 trillion in assets across sectors such as ICT, oil and gas, aluminium production, seaport development, finance and satellite technology. President Tinubu will hold talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping, during which both leaders will sign several memoranda of understanding to strengthen bilateral ties. In the course of the meeting, the two presidents are expected to discuss broader issues of mutual interest, including economic partnership, security at national, regional and international levels, and other global challenges.
His Excellency, Mr. President, would thereafter join the FOCAC summit, where several African heads of state will be present to engage with Chinese leaders on various important matters. At this FOCAC summit, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his capacity as the chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, will deliver remarks on behalf of the region, and certainly would proceed to the high-level peace and security plenary, where he will further deliver remarks on peace and security in the region and in Africa in his capacity as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This engagement is expected to yield very tangible, immediate, and future dividends for the sake of the Nigerian economy and for the benefit of the Nigerian people. And the President is placing a premium on deliverables, ensuring that this is not a talk shop, but that this is something that will yield results for our people, justifying any expenditure that is made during the course of this trip.
Spokesperson of the President, Ajuri Ngelale, speaking on the President's itinerary. Moving on now, residents of Nasarawa community say they have been grappling with the lack of access roads in the neighborhood, which is situated right beside the Gombe GRA. According to the community, they have been accessing Gombe via a footpath for decades, adding that the path has now been washed away by water, denying them access to Gombe, especially during the rainy season. Many residents lamented that political representatives from the area have consistently failed to fulfill the promises of constructing an access road in the area since 1999, urging the current administration to come to their aid. Hassan Kuli files this report.
Despite commissioning the newly constructed Abdullahi Umar Ganduja road in the area, residents have been complaining that the road only passes beside their neighborhood, saying it has not addressed the blockage they are experiencing during the rainy season. According to residents, they are left behind in developmental projects, especially roads and primary health care centers. They believe that the government has to construct a wider culvert or bridge to ease their annual sufferings. I was providing medical care in Nainawa, and I bear witness to how people are suffering during medical emergencies when it is raining, because we don't have a medical center here. Water always floods this road that links us to Gombe town whenever it rains, and we must wait for water to dry off before we pass, which is very unfortunate. The government earlier this year commissioned the 9-hour bypass road, which is commendable, but it does not address our concern because it has not provided us with a safe passage during the rainy season. We are appealing to the government to provide us with a bridge to improve our lives.
We have a lot of problems or a lot of things that we need here, but the most important thing is the road. Now, before we go into our community here, we have to pass through, well, we call it a river because it's more than a river. We are just lucky because the river doesn't store water. Whenever even it rains up north there, the water will flow through this river and then we have to wait before we can cross and go home. Now, we're appealing to the government, please come to our aid. There are some things that people who are living in the community have to do for themselves, but this one, I think, actually belongs to the government.
I just finished filling off our footpaths with grasses because whenever it rains, we will not be able to go out or return to our homes for some time. We can simply say we have no road here. Also, whenever there is an emergency, the situation is pathetic. We are paying higher prices compared to other places in Gombe town, and it is due to the lack of road issue. So we are calling on the government to come into our aid. Residents of the community said they are not enjoying the dividend of democracy, but are however optimistic that the current administration will provide them with the developmental project. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
And civil servants in Adamawa State have commended Governor Abdu for swiftly implementing the new 70,000 Naira national minimum wage. Adamawa is reportedly the first state to roll out the new wage aimed at alleviating the economic challenges facing Nigerians. Gibson Soatigo reports from Yola.
The extra amount in the August salary of Adamawa State civil servants came as a pleasant surprise, sparking widespread joy. This boost reflects Governor Abdu's commitment to fulfilling the promise of the 70,000 minimum wage in line with the federal government's directive. The governor affirmed his readiness to uphold the law, stating he will not contest what is now a legal obligation.
So we felt there is nothing that is too much for you. We felt even if the government would plead, we have to satisfy our workers. And by the way, it is not our choice, it has become a law. So why do I need to delay a day to implement what has become a law? Why do I need to drag with my workers? Why is it that it is only when it affects the workers, when it affects the common man, that government usually tracks?
Civil servants in Adamawa State are lauding Governor Abdu for taking the bold step to implement the national minimum wage. They highlighted that Adamawa is not only excelling in infrastructure development, but also prioritizing human capital development under the PDP-led government.
While his colleagues in some other states are shying away from their obligation to more especially workers, here in Adamawa State it has always been a good one for us.
It was a big amount that every worker should appreciate because it's motivating, it's encouraging, and the fact that it is coming at this crucial time, that makes it even more, appreciative because it will go a long way in addressing some of the challenges we are facing.
Civil servants who are working with the Post-Primary Schools Management Board received the highest share due to the way the new minimum wage is being structured in Adamawa State.
As it is right now, many people are counting on me, and with this money, I can do a lot with it.
The Adamawa State government plans to submit a request to the State Assembly to amend the law governing the salaries of Judiciary, Accountant General's Office, and State Assembly workers. This adjustment aims to ensure that these employees also benefit from the 70,000 minimum wage by September. Gibson Soadigo, Trust TV News, Yola.
To the cost of living in Nigeria, small business owners in Lagos are worried that surging inflation and low patronage due to the weakened purchasing power of Nigerians are threatening the survival of their businesses. Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo, who spoke to some of them, reports that due to the unfavorable current economic landscape in Nigeria, many small business owners are on the verge of closing their businesses due to the harsh economic realities. Take a look.
Many small business owners in Nigeria are facing significant challenges, particularly low patronage coupled with the increase in prices of goods and services, which have made customers reduce their spending. With the cost of living at an all-time high, people are prioritizing basic necessities over discretionary purchases.
The reason why they are not responding, the reason why they are not patronizing well is that the cost of material is too high. Some people now, when you get to the market, you have to go and do another calculation before you get the material. If you get to the market today, tomorrow is another thing entirely. And so I can't afford to buy material at the rate of 4,000, 3,000, which I want to sell 7,000. The customer may not be pleased with it.
We are not really selling, sales are not coming like before. Sales are not coming like before. So people are actually putting their money on food than to make hair now. So, and they said the attachment is too costly, so they can't afford to make hair. So people go to cut their hair now.
Hairdresser work now, they move well as before again. Why? Because things too cost. Because now when they go buy attachment, they say attachment as big one 6,500, small one is 4,000, sometimes 4,500. So how person go buy attachment? Go buy two, almost 12,000 naira. They will kind of reach salon. They go look the price of the attachment. They charge. They say 6,000, 7,000. So not go like to do the hair. They will go.
The situation is further compounded by the increasing cost of rental materials, which is squeezing profit margins for businesses. Provision store owners are also feeling the pinch.
What you buy today is not what you buy tomorrow. Today now you went to market to buy like one carton of Indomie now. You buy one carton 5,000 naira. Tomorrow you will now buy 7,000. Where are we going?
Before we used to buy needle 3,000, 2,500. Now it stands 4 now. Even those spaghetti, all of them stands 4 now. Now we are not more seeing more customer now. Everybody is managing. We are not selling like before. We are just managing. So I beg, make you help us, beg government, make it help us.
The experiences of these small business owners paint a grim picture of Nigeria's current economic landscape. As they struggle to stay afloat, the resilience of Nigeria's small business sector is being tested like never before.
Amid the ongoing economic challenges in Nigeria, many are turning to foreign languages as a gateway to job opportunities abroad. Medical workers are among those learning new languages, aiming to secure positions in Europe and other developed nations. In this report, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail visits a group of Nigerian medical workers studying German in their pursuit of greener pastures. Here's this report.
In today's interconnected world, knowing a second language is a valuable skill that broadens an individual's ability to communicate and connect globally. For career advancement and better opportunities, these Nigerians, including medical workers, are dedicating their time to learning German.
I've been here in Korea Academic to learn German in order to go to Germany to study for either whatever you can study. Either we are going to study nursing as a BSc, we are going to there and occupy a nursing BSc in Germany. So before going there, you have to at least learn how you can go to market and buy all these things, and then how you can greet in German. So that is why we are here.
The reason why nurses and doctors are going out is because of the salary. Here in Nigeria, the salary is too scanty, while there in abroad, the salary is huge. So that is the main reason for Nigerian nurses and the other medical practitioners are running away and going for there. I hate to say that Nigeria government has sat down, consider nurses, medical doctors, and all other health practitioners increase their salary. So I think none of us will even have mind to go there. We prefer to stay here and help our people.
In today's globalized economy, connections have become more vital than ever. With the increasing demand for job placements abroad, Foreign language tutors in Nigeria are now tailoring their lessons to meet the needs of various professionals, including medical workers, by focusing on specialized vocabularies that enhance their prospects for overseas opportunities.
It's a general German we are learning right now for the beginning. Yeah, greeting, presentation, how to converse, how to conjugate, how to make sentences. This is what we are doing right now.
How would that help?
You are going to discover hospital vocabularies. So that is it. And this German, as I'm trying to explain to you, is going to help them to work in the domain.
Due to the current economic challenges in the country, Nigerian professionals, including medical doctors, are increasingly exiting the country in search of better opportunities and professional growth. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Oh, there you have it. Across the nation, schools celebrate the culmination of the academic year by honoring the achievements of their students and staff. These events, rich in history and culture, are a testament to the hard work and dedication poured into education throughout the year. In this spirit, Allendale Academy marked the end of its 2023-2024 academic session with a grand celebration recognizing outstanding students, dedicated parents, and other key contributors. Let's take a closer look at how the festivities unfolded, as reported by Neil Sampson.
Allendale Academy, a co-educational day and boarding school in Kamo, Abuja, is committed to delivering quality education while fostering excellence in academics, arts, and sports. During its 2023-2024 graduation ceremony, the school proudly showcased its remarkable achievements over the past year, solidifying its reputation as a premier institution. The event highlighted Allendale's commitment to nurturing well-rounded students, making it a top choice for parents seeking the best educational environment for their children.
International affiliation. A significant milestone this year has been our affiliation with the Duke of Edinburgh Award Body. This award is a prestigious international program, and it is now part of our curriculum, offering our students opportunities for personal development, leadership, and community service on a global scale. Please can we give our school a round of applause.
Today, we are facing the near collapse of our educational standard and moral values, almost at all levels of our society. Education means, as we all know, millions of our children are out of school and wandering about without visible future. While most of the governments put little effort and resources to address the situation.
I'm excited about the new opportunities and challenges that await us in the coming session and beyond. Thank you all for being a part of this wonderful journey. Let us continue to dream big, work hard, and support one another as we strive to make Allendale Academy the best place to be in.
The graduation ceremony at Allendale Academy was filled with memorable moments, including vibrant performances by students from various classes, heartfelt appreciation extended to parents, and the presentation of awards to the graduating students. These highlights not only celebrated the students' accomplishments, but also underscored the strong sense of community and
watching the news hour on Trust Television. Let's now join Chiamaka and Nendu for the business news.
This is the business news segment. My name is Chiamaka Nendu, and we begin with news coming from the nation's petroleum sector as the NNPC has announced the commencement of liquefied natural gas exports to Asian markets of China and Japan. The spokesperson of the national oil company, Olufemi Saneye, made this disclosure in a statement in Abuja on Tuesday. And he explained that the shipment of the cargo to both Asian countries was conducted on a delivered ex-ship basis, which is an international commercial term that requires the seller to deliver the product or goods at a specific port. The seller takes responsibility for the shipping and insurance for the product and goods until they get to the specified port of delivery. And away from that now, the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority has said that the government has been able to save over 60 billion naira by eliminating fertilizer subsidy through the implementation of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative within 8 years. The authority revealed that through its strategic leadership, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative has resuscitated and established 84 blending plants across the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, accrued over $200 million in foreign exchange savings, and created more than 100,000 direct and indirect jobs. And to date, the initiative has delivered 90 million bags of locally blended high-quality fertilizers to farmers. And launched in 2016, the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative implemented by the NSIA has set out to address challenges in Nigeria's fertilizer sector, which has long been hampered in inefficiencies and an over-reliance on imports. And now to how major markets fared during today's intraday trading, where we did see the Nigeria exchange end the day in the bullish sentiment, with the market gaining by 0.43, with the Asia index at 96,003 and 37.28. Meanwhile, the market capitalization ended at 55.4 trillion naira, with a volume of trade hitting 443.156 billion, and the value of trade at 5.635 billion naira, while 8,493 deals did exchange hands on the floor of the exchange at the end of Tuesday's trading. And now to the gainers chart, where Toto topped the gainers chart up by 10%, followed by Julius Berger up as well by 10%, and John Holt ending the day gaining by 10%. And now to the losers chart, where we did see UPL top the losers chart and down by 9.58%, followed by Cortex Cables down by 6.25%, and Vitafoam down by 5.17%. And now to the top trades and market movers chart, where Veritas Capital Assurance again topped the chart at 83.1 million shares, followed by Access Holdings at 56 million shares, and Universal Insurance Company at 29 million shares. And right about now, let us take a look at how global markets fared during Tuesday's intraday trading. And in the commodities market, oil prices slipped on Tuesday after surging on Monday in the previous session, after we did see the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, member Libya, halting production and export. We also are aware that Libya produces about 1.2 million barrels per day, with the overwhelming majority of its crude exported to the global market. And that's it for the business news segment. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for watching.
Thanks to Chiamaka for business. And away from Nigeria, armed separatist rebels in Mali on Tuesday on an army drone strike had killed 7 of their members in the north of the country, an area rocked by violent unrest. The Monday strike targeted 2 of the separatists' vehicles, according to a statement published on Tuesday by the mainly Tuareg-led separatist coalition, CSP-DPA. The Malian army had said it destroyed 2 vehicles loaded with war material belonging to armed terrorist groups around 80 kilometers north of the town of Anifis on Monday. Drone strikes on Sunday in Tizaoutian near the Algerian border killed around 20 civilians, including several children, according to separatist rebels, a local elected representative and an official from a local NGO. The army said it had destroyed terrorist targets and killed around 20 armed individuals during the operation. Since seizing power in 2020 coup, Mali's military leaders have made it a priority to retake all of the country from forces linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group. Mali's offensive in the north has given rise to numerous allegations of abuses committed against civilians by the army and its Russian allies since 2022, which the Malian authorities deny. And surging waters have burst through a dam, wiping out at least 20 villages and leaving no fewer than 30 people dead in eastern Sudan, devastating a region already fleeing from months of civil war. According to a United Nations statement on Monday, torrential rains caused floods that overwhelmed the Arbat Dam on Sunday, just 40 kilometers north of Port Sudan, the de facto national capital and base for the government, diplomats and agencies, and hundreds of thousands of displaced people. The head of the Water Authority for Red Sea State, Omar Issa Harun, said in a message to staff that the area is unrecognizable, with electricity and water pipes destroyed. One first responder said between 150 and 200 people were missing. He said he had seen the bodies of gold miners and pieces of their equipment wrecked in the deluge of likened the disaster to the devastation in the eastern Libyan city of Derna in September last year, when storm waters burst dams, swept away buildings and killed thousands. The homes of about 50,000 people were impacted by the flooding, the United Nations said, citing local authorities, adding that the number only accounted for the area west of the dam, as the area east was inaccessible. Well, it's time now to join Emmanuel Fashemi for the latest in sports news.
The Nigerian Football Federation has announced that it has reached an agreement with Jamal tactician Bruno Labbadia to become the head coach of Nigerian seniors men national team Super Eagles. NFF General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi on Tuesday said the NFF Executive Committee has approved the recommendation of its Technical and Development Subcommittee to appoint Bruno Labbadia as the head coach of the Super Eagles. Sanusi said the appointment is with immediate effect. Born in Darmstadt, Germany on 8 February 1966, Labbadia, who won 2 caps for Die Mannschaft in his playing career that took him through clubs such as hometown team Darmstadt 98, Hamburg SV, FC Kassel-Lautern, Bayern Munich, FC Cologne, Werder Bremen, Arminia Bielefeld, and Karussia FC triumphed in the German Bundesliga with Bayern Munich as a player in 1994. He coached famous names such as Hertha Berlin and VfB Stuttgart this decade, and previously VfL Wolfsburg, Hamburger SV, Bayer Leverkusen, among others, and holds a UEFA Pro license. Labbadia's immediate challenge is to take charge of the 3-time African champions for 2 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Benin Republic, bid for Saturday 7th September in Uyo, and Rwanda on Tuesday 10th September in Kigali, with 4 other matches to conclude the qualifying race following in the months of October and November. The Nigeria Premier Football League has increased the salaries of match officials in the top flight by 50%. MPFL chairman Gbenga Elegbeleye announced the pay rise in the indemnities of match officials. The move is to ensure fair and credible officiating in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Elegbeleye stated that negotiations were ongoing to secure air transportation for referees and players. On Saturday, August 31st, defending champions Rangers will lock horns with Academy Warriors in the opening fixture of the 2024-2025 season. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimu.
And with that, we wrap up the news hour tonight. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Good night.